Hi guys, it's TechBoy here with another video. This video is by top 10 iPhone 6 predictions, and the ultimate question is this the iPhone everyone's been waiting for? Now, I want to do a quick disclaimer before going into this video. This video has been made mid-April 2014. Based on latest rumours, there's two new iPhones that are going to come out later in the year, probably September, or at least announced in September. A 4.7 inch screen size and a 5.5 inch screen size. There's no rumours at the moment based on a 4.0 inch model of the iPhone 6, but I sure hope there is for the people that like it. And this list is ranked based on importance, how likely it will happen, and what we as users want. There's a lot to cover, so I'm just going to get straight into it. Number 10 is the location of the power lock button. It's a small little thing to carry on about, but it could possibly be on the opposite side to the volume controls, based on this image which I found on Mac Rumors, because I check that on a daily basis. We don't know how legitimate this case is, but possibly it could happen because it makes it easier for users to press without stretching their fingers to the top of the device. I won't read the quote on the screen, but basically what Tim Cook said is the screen quality and all that is a big factor to them in terms of display technology and things like that, but I'm sure he's referring to things like the lock button and all that, but they would not put it there unless it's a very good design and purpose for having it there and all that, because if you did that on the iPhone 5S today, it just wouldn't look natural. But if they did a whole redesign of the chassis, it might look more natural. Chances of this happening, probably 50%, because we have no idea. Number 9 is the fact that they could be announced at the same time, but released at separate times, because based on rumours at the moment, the 5.5 inch version is expected to come shortly before Christmas, so like the iPad mini with Retina display in 2013 was, when the iPad Air and the iPad mini with Retina was announced. Also, the 4.7 inch version will probably be released a week after the announcement of both models, if there is a 5.5 inch model, that is. In September, I'm expecting that to happen. Number 8 is the names for each model, because this is the biggest question I keep thinking of at the moment, is how are they going to name each of them? So there's two approaches I took to this. If they have a 4.0 inch screen size, going up the screen and screen size, it could go iPhone 6, 6L and 6XL, or if there's just a 4.7 inch and the 5.5 inch model, it could be 6 and 6L. L standing for large and XL standing for extra large, just like a shirt size. The S models will obviously be the same as they are in 2014, but with an S, when they are released in 2015. And I got inspired for this list based on the iPhone 5C, with the C standing for colour, and no one was confused by the name of that, because it made sense. So why not do the same, but just use a different letter? L and XL, because it demonstrates that Apple still believe the 4.0 inch screen is the best size, but the other two sizes that they are potentially going to release are due to customer demand. Chances of this whole concept happening, probably 10%, if not 1%, but you never know. And it's rumoured for the 5.5 inch model, it could have a completely different name, so who knows. Number 7 is the camera. It's still rumoured to have 8 megapixels. An optical image stabilization component to the camera is expected, so it uses motion tracking in order to compensate for device shakiness, allowing for sharper photos and video, so it's just improving on top of what they did in the iPhone 5S. The same aperture as the iPhone 5S, protruding lens at the back, so it's like the iPod Touch 5th generation, which I'm not a fan of, but time will tell. Ultra HD or 4K video recording is probably not going to happen, but if it does, it will be 30 frames per second, only if they have a very good compression format. Make sure you Google H.265 if you don't know what that means yet. If there's a 128GB model, because the video sizes for these recordings are going to be outrageous, and regardless of whether this happens or not, there should be a setting in iOS 8 where you can select best, great, good, average or poor, so for non-tech savvy people, they'll simply understand, or do I want the best quality, but I only can record a very short segment, based on what size capacity iPhone they get, that is, And if they choose poor, it means they can fit more video content on the device because the quality isn't as great. Chances of this all happening, probably 80%, because the sensor's probably going to remain the same, aperture's going to be similar, optical image stabilization is probably going to be the biggest differentiator for the camera. Number 6, improved use of radio signals. So it's expected to have 802.11ac Wi-Fi networking, which is 3 times faster than 802.11n at similar distances in terms of speed. Provide MIMO technology like the iPads from 2013. Volt, which is voice over 4G LTE support, which basically refers to improved call quality because data goes over 4G LTE at the moment, but nothing like calls or texts go over it. So once they bring out support for that, then it will make everything just a lot more clearer and easier to understand. Like my voice is for this recording for my Mac, because I recently purchased a Mac for university reasons, as you'll understand later. And it comes down to the carrier support in America. T-Mobile has it, AT&T and Verizon are expected to have it by the end of 2014. I'm not sure what's happening with Sprint. And in Australia, Telstra is testing it at the moment. No word from Optus, and has not commenced anything about it, but at least they've acknowledged it. Chances of this happening, 50%. Probably because it was expected to come last year, it didn't, means it will probably come this year, if they can manage to engineer it in. Number 5 is an all-new design. So it's not an S model upgrade, it's a whole number, you could say, upgrade. So I'm expecting a new full redesign for the iPhone itself. So have a design very similar to the iPad Air or iPad Mini. It's rumoured to be 6.5 to 7mm thin, where the 5 and 5S is 7.6mm thin. I mean, that's just thin enough as it is, don't get me started. Volume buttons will be like pills, so like on the iPod Touch and the 2013 iPads, because how thin it is, it's not going to be possible to have the rounded buttons like they do at the moment. And curved edges, not squared off like the 4, 4S, 5, 5S. It's starting to get dated. If they curve it like the image shows on the screen, it'll just look more modern, fresh, it'll bring more fun to the phone, all of the above, basically. Chances of this happening, probably 80%, because they're long overdue for a drastic change. Some people even say this is the biggest change to probably happen since the iPhone 4 in 2010. And in some ways, I sort of agree. Number 4 is iOS 8 and unique features. When I talk about unique features, it could be like split-screen multitasking on the 5.5-inch model, or a pop-up window where you can watch videos on a 4.7-inch or 5.5-inch screen size model while interacting with other applications. So the beta is going to be announced at WWDC, which starts on June 2nd this year. iOS 8 final release date to the public will be a day or two before the iPhone 6 launch to avoid any heavy traffic and stuff like that. Not having the set grid system for the 5.5-inch iPhone, so all apps can be at the bottom of the screen for easier navigation, especially for single-handed users like me. Widgets cause more screen size. Check out my video for top 10 iOS 8 predictions, and I got a lot of positive feedback on that, and I really do appreciate you all liking and supporting the videos I do. And I made that video before HealthBook was even rumoured to be out, so it's probably going to be in iOS 8, if you want to take one of the things in my list and substitute it, if the iWatch is coming out this year. But if it doesn't, it'll probably come with iOS 9. Chances of this happening for iOS 8, 99%. Unique features, 50%. Number 3 is the A8 processor. So it's going to be marginally more powerful, but Apple claims twice as fast like every other year. Should have a more of a focus on battery life optimization, because that's the biggest issue at the moment. Hold more fingerprints for Touch ID. Possibly have quad-core CPU, so optimize only to use the 3rd and 4th core when needed. 1GB of RAM in a phone that you're paying that price for, I just don't understand. Have a die shrink from 28nm to 20nm. Results in less power consumption for users, because I'm no hardware tech savvy person in that sense, but from my understanding it means that the power can go through each of the components a lot faster, so it's using less energy. Chances of this happening, 99% for having the A8 processor in it, but in terms of what it's going to have, we won't know until it is released. Number 2 is battery life and size. The iPhone 5S has a 1560 mAh battery. The iPhone with the 4.7-inch screen size, which is rumoured to have an 1800 mAh battery, and the 5.5-inch model is expected to have around 2500 milliamps on average. This isn't the best way to figure out what the battery life will be like in the future, because it's ignoring stuff like CPUs and that optimized for software, even better operating system optimization, stuff like that. But the reason I'm saying this is, if you convert the resolutions that are rumoured for each model, with it being 4.0 inches, 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches, you take the resolution of the 4.0 inch model, divide by its battery size, multiplied by the 4.7 inch or the 5.5 inches rumoured battery size, you'll see how many pixels that battery is designed to drive, provided there's no other software optimization and it's the same A7 chip, which the A8 will come, but if it was the same A7 chip, at least of my understanding, that's how it works. So the conclusion I'm trying to make to this is the displays alone will be more power hungry than before from a pixel how it doesn't matter how big the screen is, it all comes down to pixels in terms of battery life. This is all assuming the display technology remains the same and does not change to anything like AMOLED. Chances of this happening probably 50%, but if it has a significantly better battery, everyone's going to flog for it. Number 1 is screen size and screen resolution. So I feel guilty going through the whole video and then talking about it, but basically everything I told you about before, but the 5.5-inch model will probably cost $50 more on a 2-year contract because of the cost to make larger components like display and battery, and to have a price differentiator from the 4.7-inch model to make you decide whether you want to go for that or not. I list each of the screen sizes, its rumoured or resolution it already has, and its calculated pixels per inch. And keep in mind, anything above 300 on a phone you can't possibly see. Being a student that's studying iOS programming at the moment, I don't hate it, but I don't love this whole concept based on the latest rumours. Having a higher resolution for the 5.5-inch model means there is more screen real estate to move icons around, etc. and all that, but it creates a bit more extra work for developers and all that. I hope there is a scaling option, so if apps are designed for the 4.7-inch screen, they would scale to fit on the 5.5-inch screen, mainly due to the same aspect ratio, which is probably one of the biggest hurdles from the 4S to the 5. So, in a nutshell, that's basically what I'm expecting. 4.7 inches does sound about the best size, provided that there's better optimization in the software for this larger display, like dragging your thumb from the left side of the screen. So, from a programming perspective, I don't hate it, but I don't love this concept, but I'm learning all the auto layout stuff and all that before you say anything about that. But basically, that's my view on it at the moment. It could change in 3 weeks, it could change in 3 months. By the time the phones come out, time will tell. So this is at least my view on the moment at this point in time. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. The question for you, the audience, is: if you do not own an iPhone, would a larger screen make you switch or switch back? So if you had like an iPhone, you then went to Android, would it having a larger screen make you switch back? Like just a larger screen and that was it. So you can let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoy this, please give a like, and if you choose to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Google+. If you want me to, tell me to create a Twitter account, I'm more than happy to, for informing you all about all the latest tech trends and all that, and what my opinions are on them and all that. And that's been it. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you later.